Good evening, this is the Oscar expert here at the Cannes Film Festival, and it's time to review The Sweet East. This is the directorial debut of Sean Price Williams, but you've surely seen his work before. He's a cinematographer who's been working for a while in independent films. He did the Safdie brothers' first two films, as well as some of Alex Ross Perry's movies. He also serves as cinematographer on his own movie, and that's obvious because the movie looks wonderful. But in the director's chair, Sean Price Williams is coming out swinging. This movie is bold, extremely stylish, and very often kind of off-putting and maybe even clunky, but in ways that I admired a lot overall. If SP Willie here was worried about losing his audience, he wouldn't have made this movie at all. And I'm thankful that he was fearless in his ambition, because the result here is a very special movie. And certainly not just because of the visual style alone. In the Q&A, it made it seem like him and the film's writer Nick Pinkerton kind of conceived this movie together. The movie stars Talia Ryder as she goes on an odyssey across the USA, encountering many radical political and ideological extremes, like a closeted neo-Nazi played by Simon Rex, and a couple of artists so obsessed with their artistic visions that they can't even realize if they're actually making any sense. Talia Ryder's character is a very strange protagonist. She just lets the wind kind of blow her into these different worlds across America. We don't even really know like what her deal is or like why she's even on this journey. In many ways, the movie felt literary. Maybe that's just because it reminded me of Sister Carrie, a novel in which a young woman's beauty makes men want to project on her very badly. She even has an excursion as an actress, which is similar to the character in this movie. It really did make me wonder how much that influence is there. Simon Rex says something hilarious about Talia Ryder's character, which is that she's like a village waiting to be colonized or something. And the movie explores how difficult it is in our modern world to evade influence or tribal behavior. This character does not function like a normal protagonist, but it works surprisingly well for me, because the weird qualities of this character are very purposeful and allow the movie to explore a lot of interesting ideas about identity in modern America. It's a pretty interesting portrait of the country and very different from the sort of political message that you might expect from a Hollywood film. The movie is refreshingly unafraid to push some buttons, and it looks absolutely beautiful. It's got a great lo-fi look to it, bursting with color and movement. Sometimes it dips into fever dream territory and gets real bonkers. A24 may be literally unable to contain themselves from purchasing the distribution rights for this one, even though I have really no idea if this movie can do well at the box office. Again, I have to mention that I was constantly watching this movie with like one eyebrow raised. It makes dozens of odd decisions, and it's very hard to know how to feel about them. From the main character's strange behavior and lack of development, to some of the extreme ways it paints its side characters, and some of the more bold stylistic choices. But while one eyebrow is raised, my mind is still like, whoa, this is different, this is cool, I like this. And upon digesting the movie and thinking about it more, I definitely feel pretty favorable towards some of the risks I was unsure about initially. To be clear, this isn't like a surreal movie that doesn't make any sense and you're like not gonna understand it. The message comes across, which is why I think that the movie is ultimately pretty successful. Really, I go to the movies for things like this. I am not looking for familiarity. I want movies that are fresh in what they're trying to communicate and how they're communicating it, and this movie absolutely is that. It's a really excellent conversation starter too. Like, I want to see this movie again, and I want to take my friends to it, because I think it also will get people talking outside the usual lines of political discourse. And if I do see it again, I'd be very curious to see if some of the clunkiness smooths over for me now that I kind of am sitting with the big picture. I would say Simon Rex is the supporting standout in this movie. His character is really funny. I think I only bought this character maybe like 80%, I have to say, but I still enjoyed him a lot. Talia Ryder is very good. It's a weird role, but she makes it work. Jacob Elordi is also in this for a bit. He's amusing. Jeremy O'Harris and Ayo Edebiri are also really funny as well. Their whole like bit is great. I 100% recommend the movie. I look forward to the conversations that it will start. I will give the movie 8 out of 10. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. What do you think the sweetest direction is?